Welcome, fight fans, wherever you're watching around Australia on Premier Sports. Today we come for you from La Canette in the beautiful south of France. And John Casey, a great card of fights coming up tonight.
Yes, our opening bout, Neil, is for the North American Boxing Federation Super Welterweight title between Rodney Wright and Anthony Ivory. That's followed by Julian Lorkie up against Jose Sanabria. Lorkie, of course, undefeated through 23 fights. And then the main event, the WBA Welterweight Championship of the World between Andrew Murray and Ike Bazooka Quarty. 3 quality bouts coming up.
Yes, that one with Quarty should be a ripper. He's making his 4th defence of his title tonight. But first up, we've got a super welterweight bout scheduled for 12 3-minute rounds. And coming out of the blue corner, Ron Winky Wright. He's wearing the black shorts with the gold trim. And out of the red corner, Anthony Ivory. He's wearing the red shorts with the blue and white trim.
Both very experienced boxers. Wright, of course, southpaw. And Anthony Ivory, with more losses than wins, is going to have his work cut out against the NABF Super Welterweight champion. Tale of the tape was very similar between these two fights, or fighters.
Ron Winky Wright has been in the ring fighting for a world title. In August '94, he fought Julio Cesar Vasquez and was outpointed unanimously. So he's been up there with the best, and that to date is his only loss in professional boxing.
That was 12 months ago. Since then, he's been building a reputation as a very awkward customer with that southpaw stance. Both fighters very close in height, weight and reach. Good right, overhand right there from Ivory. Just keeping Wright on his toes. Wright responds with a left to the body. The jab, then goes on with the left again. Didn't connect.
You'd have to expect Ivory, with that record of 20 losses, you'd have to say that he's a professional opponent, but the way he shaped up in these early parts of the first round, he looks anything but that, John.
Wright, of course, has a habit of finishing these fights early in the piece, so I guess Ivory will be very concerned, will be concentrating very hard to make sure that Wright doesn't land some big blows early. He's going to work now. Not afraid to go downstairs either. And in fact, this is the second time these two fighters have clashed in the last 4 months. And it was Wright with a win in 8 rounds. And that also was in France.
That was in April of this year. That was for a non-title fight. This time the title is on the line.
Good jab there from Anthony Ivory, but Wright came back hard.
Both fighters should have a little bit of an idea about what they're up against, having met each other only a few months ago.
And from all reports, was a very entertaining affair. Good right hand from Ivory. Just sizing one another up. Ivory not afraid to take it toward the champ. And that is the end of round 1. Very even opening to the fight, I'd say, Neil Cordy.
Yeah, I think so. Ivory is a little bit concerned about getting in close because he's obviously seen the power that Winky Wright has in both hands. He can knock out fighters very comfortably.
You keep working just like you're working. Stay in your rhythm, use your feint, keep shooting the jab, and bring the left hand. Left hand, and sometimes the hook behind it, all right? And step away from that right hand. Step away from the right hand.
This way?
Yes.
Right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay, well, let's do it, sweetheart. Okay? Okay, you got it. Okay, stay relaxed. You okay? Yeah. All right. Right hand, left hook. Okay, let's roll.
Here we are, set for round 2, scheduled for 12. for the NABF Super Welterweight crown, currently held by Ronald Wright in the black trunks. Even first round, level on my scorecard as Ivory takes it to the champ again. Jabbing and using the right. The overhand right has been his best punch so far. Quick jab from Wright.
Winky Wright trying to set up that left hand. He looks like he's got real power there. In his first 17 fights, he won 12 of those fights by knockout. So he can hit hard.
Sizing one another up. They've stood toe-to-toe for most of the fight. Ivory attacks, left himself open, and that was a chance for Ronald Wright to come back and hit hard. Couple of right hands. He goes downstairs with a left. Glancing right over the top of his head as well. Ivory trying to keep him at distance. Early stages, but you would have to say the champ does appear to have just a little bit more power, a little bit more sting in those punches.
He certainly does. He's controlling the centre of the ring. He's definitely the aggressor now in this second round, taking the fight up to Anthony Ivory.
Ivory throws the jab again in the right. Ineffectual punches. Downstairs goes Ronald Wright. That was a low blow as well. Nothing from referee Marcel Lacourde.
Caught him there with a solid left, staggered him just a little bit, but he seems to have recovered okay.
Ivory throws the jab, then goes down low. Not much power in the punches. Don't seem to be bothering Wright at the moment. Two jabs and a left from the champ.
The champ is throwing combinations. Ivory seems to be just sticking out the left jab, not following it up with much at all. Whenever Ron Winky Wright comes in, he's throwing combinations. He's not just throwing one or two, he's throwing 3 or 4 punches.
50 seconds left in round number 2, scheduled for 12. The champ, Ronald Winky Wright, in the black trunks up against Anthony Ivory. They stand centre ring. Good right from Ivory. That woke the champ up. Again, he goes over the top, has the champ in trouble. He staggered in for a moment. Good overhand right there from Anthony Ivory.
That's definitely his power punch there, that overhand right. He's caught him a couple of times there and definitely did shake him there.
Certainly finishing the better here in round 2 after Wright had dictated the tempo. Counting down the last 5 seconds. And a good round 2 for Anthony Ivory.
Yes, he certainly should be a lot happier with that performance as he sits down in his corner to get his instructions.
Hard to assess the fight given the fact that Ronald Wright dominated for most of the first part of the round. But then right at the end it was Ivory. The overhand right flush on the forehead, and that just wobbled the champ a little bit. He's been down 5 times in his career, although he's only had 1 loss, and that was a good punch from Ivory. Found the target, he followed it up as the champ went downstairs.
Well, snap the jab.
Ivory's looking certainly a lot better than I think most people expected in this fight. With 20 losses to his name, he's certainly showing a lot more class than many people expected. Round 3 about to start. It's scheduled for 12.
Well, they went 8 rounds just 4 months ago. And Anthony Ivory surprised some people there, and he may be surprising the champ here in their rematch as well. This time, Wright wants to get busy. A couple of blows downstairs. Ivory hits back again with the right hand. Anthony Ivory in the red trunks. First 2 rounds shared on my scorecard. Wright wants to go to work. Again, he goes downstairs.
Again, he's throwing punches in combination. He's not just going in with a jab. He's following it up, trying to land that big left.
Ivory attacks with the right again. just posing some problems for Ronald Wright at the moment. Wright goes with a combination. He weighed in just a touch, half a kilogram lighter than Anthony Ivory in the red trunks. And the champ looking to go to work, but at the moment Ivory keeping him at bay, throwing plenty of leather.
Yes, Wright started his early career, had his first 17 fights in the US, based out of Florida, and since then he spent most of his time in Europe, fighting mainly out of France. So obviously likes it here, as did Jeff Harding, the Australian. Found another home for himself in France. Obviously keen fight fans there.
Well, the Hitman was very popular in France. And let's hope we get to see Jeff Harding back in the ring in the not-too-distant future. Australian fight fans would love to see him back in action. Anthony Ivory in the red. The champ, Ronald Wright, the 23-year-old from Florida. Ivory attacks. Wright comes back with a combination to the body. Ivory going for that overhand right again. Missed the target. 30 seconds left in round number 3.
Ivory's continuing to go to the well with that overhand right, and Winky Wright is just starting to move his head about and make him miss that punch.
Starting to work his way into the fight, the champ. Wright jab sneaks through. He retreats. Ivory has been busy and certainly taking it right up to the champion. They're fighting the North American Boxing Federation Super Welterweight title. Ronald Wright in his first defence of the crown, having won it from Tony Marshall in February. Entertaining round 3.
Way to step to the side and work underneath. That's what I was talking about. Breathe. Breathe. No problem with this guy, but you didn't use the jab enough this round. Don't just paw it out there. Shoot it out there and move it around, not in the same spot. Stick it to his body and then move it around.
So we listen there to those instructions.
Step to the side and work in combination just like you did.
Power from that jab.
Step at an angle after you punch.
There we see him going, Ivory going for that overhand right, but now Winky Wright is looking for that punch.
Shooting that jab and let that crack that left hand and bring that home.
Down with the water.
Go back to the body a little bit.
So they step up for round 4, scheduled for 12 in this super welterweight bout for the NABF title.
Ivory in the red trunks fighting out of the red corner. The champ, Ronald Wright. Busy here, early stages of round 4. Looking to go at Ivory. Ivory goes downstairs. On the retreat, Wright goes downstairs. Good body punch, and the right and left again. Ivory steps forward. Tempo just starting to lift here in round 4.
Been a very clean fight. Referee LaCourde has not had to step in once, John. I think both fighters respect their power inside, and both preferring to fight this one at a distance.
A little bit later on the program, Anthony Murray and Ike Forty go at it for the WBA Welterweight Championship.
And that should be a ripper, John.
Ivory gets the right, found the target, but straight away, Ronald Wright comes back. Combination. Another big left. And a good jab from the champ as well. Has Ivory in the corner. The left got through again. Better round here from the champ, going to work on Anthony Ivory.
Whenever he seems to cop one, he he bounces back, and that seems to spark him into light. So maybe if he gets hit early in the round, that might go well for Ron Winky Wright.
Now they work at close quarters. Nothing in those punches. Looking for the opening. He goes with a combination again. Two good rights there from the champ. Just getting on top here in round 4. Again, he goes to work downstairs. 30 seconds left. Round number 4 scheduled for 12.
White still controlling centre ring, looking to tie him up, looking to land that big left. But Anthony Ivory has been a slippery customer and has also landed his share of punches as well, particularly that overhand right.
Worked well for him early in the fight, but Wright seems to have worked that out and is now taking control. Certainly here in round 4, he has made the running and looking the better of the two. Round 4 goes to the champ, Ronald Wright.
You're a little busy. You got the answer. You know what I'm saying? You got the answer. Okay. You can't let him out hustle. Okay? You can't let him out hustle. Now that round was better. But you didn't give him 2 because he out hustled you. Let's get him back, all right? Let's get him back.
See there, Ivory not enjoying the attention to the body. Covered up here, and also as he goes to work upstairs.
Turn that right hand under. Turn that right hand under.
Winky Wright certainly getting the edge there in round 4. He's been spending plenty of time working downstairs. It seems to be starting to pay dividends. You're right, Neil. Anthony Ivory, very protective of his rib area. And perhaps some of those punches just starting to take their toll on Ivory. 17 wins, 20 losses. 1 draw for Ivory in the red trunks. Here we go, round 5, and the champ straight away is back to business.
He's come out very confident, looking to try and possibly finish this one and have an early night.
First time we've seen the uppercut from Ivory, didn't connect. The right does. Now the champ comes back again. He works hard to the body. Good combination punching from Anthony Wright. Again, he goes downstairs. This time he goes to the head. Ivory just starting to look a little fatigued here.
Those body punches really starting to take the toll, and now he lands a good left and right combination to the head of Ivory, and follows it up with a jab. Gaining confidence by the minute, Winky Wright.
Ivory hasn't been able to land any punches of consequence for some time now. Most of these being taken on the gloves by the champ. Has him in the corner. He goes to work. Ivory wheels around back to centre ring. Wright, patient, waiting for the right moment. That big left hand. He goes with a jab, then downstairs with the left. Ivory comes back, the uppercut.
Ivory's corner was asking him to respond. If he just lets him come in and throw those combinations, he's going nowhere. He has to answer and throw some punches of his own. But every time he does that, he opens up that body, that rib cage that Ron Winky Wright is just loving to get to work on.
Close quarters, good left from the challenger. Now Wright goes to work. Ivory comes back. Only one of those 3 landed. Now the jab. Downstairs. Combination punches. Ivory retaliates. Under a minute left here. Round number 5 scheduled for 12 for the North American Boxing Federation Super Welterweight title.
The super welterweight division, of course, the division of Troy Waters, who is actually going to be fighting a former NABF super welterweight, Kevin Pompey, in Gosford on October 30. One to look out for there.
Good left hand there from the champ. Now he goes again. Combination work from the champ. Ivory in some trouble here. Hands getting lower and lower. A couple of punches to the head. Now he retaliates. But the champ looks in control. More power in his punches. Final 10 seconds, round number 5. The champ getting on top. Ivory works hard on the bell, but no doubt the champ, Ronald Wright, taking round 5.
Those body punches are really starting to add up. Anthony Ivory not that keen on getting out and throwing punches because it's going to open up there. A good overhand right by Winky Wright, and follows it up with the left. Bit of a glancing blow, that one, but that right definitely scored.
And just under the left eye of Anthony Ivory.
Sharp jab, straight.
A little bit puffy.
Hook underneath. Don't go on.
Saw some treatment at the end of round 4. And no doubt the champ, as you see him sitting there, Ronald Wright, going to work on the left eye. He's also worked pretty hard downstairs as well.
Yes, his trainer encourages him to keep working downstairs, and it is really paying dividends.
Yeah, no, this is 6.
He's managed to avoid that overhand right of Anthony Ivory, which seems to be his only real scoring punch.
Round 6 from La Canette in France. And the champ, again, making the early running here. Ivory prepared just to sit back and wait for his moment. The longer the fight has gone, though, the better the champ has looked. Here he is working with that jab, being busy.
I'll have to say about Anthony Ivory, he really does look a lot better fighter than his record shows. It makes you wonder, he must have been fighting some tough opponents.
Now the crowd get involved as well, revving the champ up. Ivory has taken a lot of punishment. It does appear to be okay at the moment as the champ gets aggressive. Working the jab, now the left. The overhand right, Ivory ducked underneath it, glancing blow. Ivory at the moment unable to land any clean punches.
And starting to look very tired. He just took a moment there to gather his breath, drop his arms down. And Ron Wright keeps pouring it on.
Middle stages, round number 6, scheduled for 12.
Ivory's corner asking him to move his head, He's holding it still. It's a sitting target for Ron Wright at the moment. He's going to work on it.
Ivory with a burst of energy. Throws combination punches. The champ, though unfazed, comes back at him and coming back hard. They exchange blows. Ivory throws the jab. Wright works downstairs. Again he goes with the left. A solid punch.
That hurt him.
Now looking for his mark. Ivory in some trouble here in round number 6. The champ with a good left hand had found the target. And Ivory retreats into the corner.
Thought he might have followed that one a little bit more aggressively. He shook him up there.
Again he hits
now
with
he
the
comes
left.
after him.
Right to the body. Anthony Ivory's defence at the moment. No contest for the champ as he goes to work again with the jab.
That hand speed really in another class from Anthony Ivory, beating him to the punch now. Ivory starting to look tired, but he's game. He's hanging in there.
Counting down the last 30 seconds of round 6. The champ getting on top here. He won rounds 4 and 5 convincingly after being wobbled in round 2 by a good right hand from the challenger Anthony Ivory. But since then the champ sparked into action, has been all business, and Ivory has spent most of the time backpedaling.
Right showing there that he's got power off both sides. Happy to lead with the right and left.
2 good rights from the champ, and he doesn't look phased at the moment. End of round 6, and the champ, Ron Wright, well on top here of Anthony Ivory.
Yes, Ivory, I think, probably would have, as you scored it, Case, got those first 2 rounds with those overhand rights he was landing, but the further this goes, the better Ron Winky Wright is looking. Looking very composed.
Centre of the ring in replay. Good right hand there from the champ. He wanted to follow it up, but Ivory retreated. Went downstairs and wide open. Good shot. Ivory in trouble. He just doesn't seem to have the punching power at the moment. At that time it was the left hand. And Ivory, with his problems at the moment, the champ.
I still think Ron Wright could follow that up with a bit more aggression. He's shaken him a couple of times, but then hasn't followed it up as we start round 7, scheduled for 12 in this super welterweight clash for the NABF title.
Ronald Wright usually dismisses opponents a lot quicker than this. 30-1, 20 KOs coming into this bout. And only 3 times has he been 10 rounds or more. So the longer this fight goes, the more uncharted territory the champ enters. At the moment, though, well on top of Anthony Ivory. Downstairs, left and right. Ivory counters, throwing out that jab, trying to keep the champ at bay, but he looks all business at the moment.
You said that right there, Case. Just trying to keep him at bay. Those jabs that Ivory's throwing out now, there's no power, there's no venom. He's just holding it out there, trying to keep him off. And Ron Winky Wright just walks straight through those jabs.
Wright dictating the tempo. Downstairs again, he goes with a solid left. Ivory covers up and he works to the ribs again, the champ. Uppercut from Ivory. Good left hand from the champ. More action here. Round 7. Scheduled for 12, and the champ has been workmanlike. After a slow start, short right, and a short right again from the champ. Ivory at the moment has his problems, keeping the champ at bay. Entertaining fight, first of 3 on this card on Premier All-Star Sports. The undefeated Julien Lorky from France will be up next against Jose Sanabria. Here's the champ working hard. Ivory retreats. Wearing a lot of leather at the moment. Now he hits back. From close quarters they exchange blows. Excitement here in round 7. The crowd getting involved.
Unfortunately for the crowd, they haven't had much to get excited about it with the local boy in the last round.
Under a minute left, round number 7. Ronald Wright, the champ, hoping to successfully defend his NABF super welterweight crown. His first defence since winning the title from Tony Marshall in February of this year. Good work here from the champ. Solid body blows to Anthony Ivory. Ivory bounces back, but no venom in the punches. The champ quite happy to stand in front of him and exchange blows. Jab, a tired-looking jab from Ivory. He's starting to feel fatigue, looking weary. The champ nails him again with the jab.
Not afraid. Early on, Winky Wright was a little bit cautious getting in close. Now, not a problem at all. There's nothing there that Anthony Ivory is showing him now that makes him scared to stay back.
End of round 7, and the longer the fight goes, the better the champ, Ronald Winky Wright, is looking. And Anthony Ivory, with his problems at the moment.
Yes, unless he can start. If I was Anthony Ivory, he seems to be definitely running out of gas. And the only way he's going to get out of this is if he can summon up some energy and try and knock Ron Winky Wright out. As you see, there's a good overhand right. He still has got some power there in the right if he can set it up. But the longer it goes, the weaker he's getting, and he'll need to try and come up with a big punch pretty soon. Otherwise, it's going to be a very long night for Anthony Ivory. See there, beating him, leading with the right. No protection there from Anthony Ivory. And as opposed to the start of the round, he's happy to get inside. As the bell sounds for the seconds to get out of the ring for the start of round 8, scheduled for 12 in this super welterweight bout for the NABF title. Coming to you from La Canette in the beautiful south of France.
4 months ago, when these two fighters got in the ring, it went 8 rounds. The distance, the champ winning. Ronald Wright, here we are in round 8. And Ivory, showing a little bit more venom, went with a big uppercut, didn't connect. But just has Ronald Wright, the champ, has him thinking at least. He needs to do that because at the moment his defence doesn't pose too many problems for the champ, and he's able to score almost at will.
That's what Ivory has to do. Going for that big uppercut, it missed, but it's the only... Could have been a low blow there.
And referee Marcel Lacourde warns him to keep them up.
But he's going to have to get in a bit closer if he's going to land one of those big rights.
Champ looking for an opening, goes to work on the head. A couple of jabs, stalking his opponent's centre ring.
Throwing good combinations, left, left, right.
Ivory retreats. Jab again there from the champ. Ivory works downstairs. Just get the impression the champ is looking for an opening and would like to finish it. Ivory, though, goes to work here in round 8. Needs to start scoring some points. At the moment, the champ well on top on my card, at least. And good combinations from the champ as he works upstairs and then goes to the body as well.
He's picking his punches now. He's not throwing anything in excess. As you say, John, he's looking to set this up. Being patient.
And very economical, as you say, with his punches. Ivory was able to get a big right hand through his defence in round 2. It wobbled the champ. But since then, Ivory hasn't landed too many punches at all. Last 50 seconds of round number 8.
Still plenty of snap in those jabs that Ron Wright is sending out there. Still bouncing the head back on Anthony Ivory. But Ivory's game, he's still in there. But look at that left. He's just popping it out there. There's no venom, and he's just trying to keep him at bay.
Under 30 seconds left of round 8, and the champ works to the body.
Fight action coming to you from La Canette in the south of France. If it's happening in boxing around the world, you can see it here on Premier Sports.
Ivory attacks at closing stages of round 8. Now the champ works back. And Ronald Wright looking to defend the NABF Super Welterweight crown at this stage, well on top through 8 rounds.
Very close. Get your win.
As I mentioned previously, he has been in the ring with the best in the world. He went the distance with Julio Cesar Vasquez. That was in April last year and was outpointed in a contest that went the distance, and that was a unanimous points decision there to Vasquez.
Stay in your rhythm.
Of course, Ivory, on the other hand, 17 wins, 20 losses, 1 draw. But if the champ thought he was in for an easy night...
Determination. Come on, Wink. Determination.
Well, he certainly hasn't got that. Ivory has been brave so far, if well behind on points, at least on my scorecard.
That was a close round last round.
Yes, I think he's won the first 2, but it's been all right since then. As the bell sounds for round 9, scheduled for 12 in this super welterweight bout for the NABF title. Right out quickly, stepping it up. He wants to get it finished. His corner wants it to finish. They're asking for more determination. He's just been perhaps, you know, a little bit cautious picking his punches. He's still got the power there, which Ivory hasn't. Big right there.
Solid left from the champ as well. He means business here, round number 9. And Anthony Ivory in the red trunks has his problems at the moment as the champ stalks his prey.
Winky Wright's backed off, working downstairs as he did in the early parts of the round, and I think that's keeping Anthony Ivory in it. I've got a feeling that if he had kept working at the body in those earlier rounds, he wouldn't be out there now. It'd be all over. But he's gone upstairs.
Oh, solid left from the champ. Wobbled Anthony Ivory. The knees buckled. And now they exchange blows centre of the ring. The champ on top, looking to finish this here in round number 9. And again, Ivory is told, keep his head up, out of the contest. There's the champ going to work. Ivory in trouble here.
It's a bit more like it. He landed that big punch, but didn't really follow it up. He knows Ivory's hasn't got any real power, anything that's going to hurt him. Now he's not landing that right. He should be prepared to get in there, get closer, and land a couple of big punches and put it to rest.
Wait, you got it like that.
Great fight to kick off this program. A little bit later, the WBA Welterweight Championship up for grabs. Ike Bazooka Quarty goes up against Andrew Murray from Guyana. The champ here, Ronald Wright, going to work on Anthony Ivory. Has certainly had the better of round 9 as we count down the last 60 seconds. Ivory, though, still there throwing punches. Crowd willing him on. The champ certainly has the better, though, and now they start to liven things up. The champ goes to work. And again, Anthony Ivory is warned, told to keep his head up. Now the champ attacks the head.
It seems that's the best thing for Ron Wright. He gets a punch landed on him that sparks him into action.
Goes downstairs again, good combination. Ivory wills away. Unable to land many blows of significance himself. Spending most of round 9 here on the defensive as we count down the final 10 seconds. Entertaining bout so far. Hope you're enjoying our coverage on Premier All-Star Sports. Well, no doubt the champ certainly took round number 9.
We've got 3 rounds to go. 10 coming up.
And we are into round 10.
Breathe. Breathe. Come on, breathe.
In 31 previous fights,
That's the way to
the
be
champ,
boss out there.
Ronald Wright, has only been into 10 rounds or more 3 times.
Round wasn't even close.
Got a feeling that they want Ron Winky Wright to go the distance in this one.
Then come up under.
His trainers
That's the way to move the head.
telling him to move his head. Don't make himself a sitting target. But he's talking about going the distance. He's not asking him to knock him out. So perhaps he's looking at this one as a little bit of a training run as he tries to make his way back towards another shot at the super welterweight title of the world.
Wipe me off.
Be the boss.
Wipe me off.
Anthony Ivory, the challenger, and Ronald Wright, the champ. The NABF Super Welterweight Championship, round 10 from Larcanet in France. Entertaining fight so far with the champ making most of the running. What will happen here in the final 3 rounds? Ivory cautious, waiting the champ to come at him, and he does. Ivory, a little bit more snap in that jab here. Crouching over, trying to protect the body where the champ has been working diligently throughout this fight. Significant edge, at least on my scorecard, for the champ at the moment. And Ivory, if he is going to wrest the title from Ronald Wright, needs to get busy here in the last 3 rounds.
His only chance here at this stage, Case, is a knockout punch. And really, we've only seen any power in that right. And the longer he goes, it seems the more the tank is running out of gas. So we'll want to land it pretty soon.
Yes, the less we're seeing that big overhand right. It stunned the champ in round 2, wobbled him, and he attacks again with it. Solid blows being landed by both fighters.
The crowd here at Larcanet trying to get behind their boy, but he's been game, but it really has been all Ron Winky Wright as he goes to work upstairs and downstairs.
Combinations. And at the moment, Anthony Ivory being forced to retreat and try and stay out of range. The champ stalks him, goes with the left again.
Step over.
Had Ivory in trouble in round 8 with a big left hand.
Remember, you can see another big super welterweight clash when Troy Waters goes in against the former NABF title holder, Kevin Pompey. That's October 30 at Gosford Leagues.
Under a minute left here. Round number 10 for the NABF Super Welterweight Championship. Ronald Winky Wright in the black trunks against Anthony Ivory. And the champ certainly, after being wobbled in round 2 by a big overhand right, has had little to worry about since then and has really taken the fight up to Anthony Ivory. Exchange blows. Now Ivory attacks. The champ likes it. He hits back. They go downstairs, both fighters. Exchange blows, centre of the ring. Some excitement here in round 10 as we count down the final 10 seconds. Scheduled for 12. The champ goes with the left again. Can't connect. Works at Ivory, who retreats. Glancing blows there to finish round number 10. Ivory still on his feet, but the champ well in front on points.
Anthony Ivory there just reminding Ron Winky Wright that he is still in a fight. He hasn't got much left in the tank, but he'll throw them in fits and spurts as we look at some of the action from that round.
Ronald Wright working downstairs in the glancing right. Ivory retreats. Here's Ivory on the attack. That overhand right that worked so successfully in the early rounds. But this time unable to connect. The champ has worked that one out. And very busy he works downstairs. It's been a very entertaining fight to kick off what is a great card here on Premier All-Star Sports. Here we go for round 11. The champ, Ronald Wright, in the black trunks, on top here. And Ivory is going to have to get very busy in the final 2 rounds. You would have to say he needs a knockdown now if he's going to wrest the title away from the American.
Yeah, no doubt about that, John. He won the first 2, but since then it's been all Winky Wright, winning the last 8 rounds.
Well, I had him on top in round 2. I squared at round 1. That is inconsequential because since then, including round 7, which was probably the best round so far for the champ, he has had the edge. No doubt the boxer's starting to feel a little bit leg weary now. 1 minute gone in round 11.
Even Ivory's right now has lost its potency. There's nothing left in the left, but even his right is battling to get any sting.
Champ needs to be careful. 3 jabs in quick succession. Now Ivory comes back at him. That landed on the gloves, the jab. Again, the champ takes it on the gloves. He works downstairs. Can't connect there either. And here he comes, looking for his mark. And combination blows from the champ. 2 jabs in the left hand. Wanting to get on top. Maybe even finish it here in round number 11. He goes to work. Ivory wears another right hand. Ivory in the red trunks would need a knockdown. The moment the champ well on top, working to the body. A wild right. The jab and then downstairs again. That's where he's worked very efficiently throughout the fight. And Ivory at this stage, not much gas left in the tank. Oh, a big left hand from the champ. He set him up with a solid right, and the left buckled Ivory, and now he goes downstairs. The champ looking to finish it here in round 11 goes to work. Ivory in trouble. He was staggered.
But he's game. He's holding on. He's standing up. I thought he was gone there, but he's come back. Another big right lead from the champ.
Well, the left hand has done all the damage for Ronald Wright, and Anthony Ivory, closing stages of round 11, will do well to stay on his feet. The champ looking for his mark, slaps away the jab of the challenger, and at the end of round 11 he is well on top, and Anthony Ivory to his credit, is still there, having been wobbled twice.
Just a little bit of a look of disappointment there on Ron Wright's face as the bell sounded there for that round. He was hoping to put him away, but couldn't quite find the punch that he was looking for. He definitely had him shaken, definitely had him stirred, but couldn't put him on the canvas.
Just like this last round, Wink, a lot of pressure.
There's the right hand, now the left, and that staggered Ivory. The last one of little consequence, but it was an excellent combination from the champ. Worked downstairs, up popped the head. He went with the right hand first and then the big left. Pow on the button. If he'd connected with the last right, it could have been all over. But this was quality stuff from the champ, Ronald Wright. The big left hand, and snaps his head back in round 11. Opened up a cut over his eye, around the left eye in round 4, wobbled him in round 8. Round 11 he was well on top, and here we are, round 12. Ronald Wright, the champion, well on top of Anthony Ivory.
No doubt about it, the only chance for Anthony Ivory is a knockout, but I don't think he has got that punch in his kit tonight. He had it early, but certainly hasn't had it for the last 7 or 8 rounds. It's interesting to see here if Ron Wright goes after the knockout. He's ahead on points. He might be cautious, might be still a bit wary, because the only way he is going to lose this is if he gets in and cops one on the chin. So he may play it cautiously.
31 pro fights for Ronald Wright. This only the 3rd time he has been taken to 12 rounds. Although 3rd time in the past 7 fights. So he is well conditioned and has been very busy. This his 5th fight this year. And well ahead on points. He only needs to stay out of trouble, but he works downstairs on Anthony Ivory.
Still plenty of sting in those punches. He's been very patient, picking his punches. Perhaps a couple of times when he's had Ivory in trouble, he could have been more aggressive and finished it off. But really, he has dominated this fight basically from the 3rd round on.
Ivory works downstairs. Had his moment of glory in round 2 when he connected on a big right hand. The overhand right wobbled the champ, stunned him. He was able to regather his thoughts, and since then has certainly been all over Anthony Ivory.
It's the final round, round 12, super welterweight clash for the NABF title, coming to you from La Canette in the south of France.
Next up, the undefeated Julien Lorky from France, the 23-year-old, goes up against Jose Sanabria. Under a minute left here, round 12, and the champ Ronald Wright in the black trunks is in complete control. Ivory, less than 60 seconds to win this fight. He needs a knockout. I can't see it coming. Has not had enough power in those punches to worry the champ since round 2. Big right hand from the champ. Again he goes to work. Ivory retreats.
Looks like Anthony Ivory is going to be happy just to last this one out on his feet. And it has been a courageous effort, because he's really been on the back foot for the last half or more of this fight.
Has taken plenty of punishment as well. And the champ's still going to work. Under 10 seconds left. Quick combination downstairs. And it is all over. And Ronald Wright, in 12 rounds, has been far the aggressor and far more impressive than Anthony Ivory. And for the 2nd time in 4 months, at least unofficially on my scorecard, he has taken a points decision over Anthony Ivory. Entertaining bout. In round 2, the champ was in trouble. Ivory landed a big overhand right and wobbled him. Ivory won that round, but on my scorecard, that was the only round that he was able to win. He had trouble with his left eye in round 4, wobbled in round 8, and almost down in round 11. And the points decision goes to Ronald Winky Wright.
A good result there for Wright, but I think if he is going to get back and have a shot at a world title, which is obviously his aim, he's only dropped the one fight, and that was in a world title contest against Julio Cesar Vasquez early on last year. He really does need to step up against a better class of opponent if he's going to make that next step up.
Coming up a little bit later on Premier Sports, Julian Lorkie against Jose Sanabria will be our next fight, and then the main event for the WBA Welterweight Championship. Ike Bazooka Quarty defends his crown against Andrew Murray of Guyana.
Mesdames, Messieurs, la décision des juges. Décision unanime pour Monsieur.
We await the decision. Not too much doubt in my mind that Ronald Winky Wright in the black trunks on the left of your screen has scored an impressive win over Anthony Ivory, and that is the way the judges have seen it as well.